Hello, worldies, and welcome back to my naughty little channel. I hope you all are feeling quite wonderful. Today, I want you already know what type of time I'm on if you see the title. I have a theory that unambiguous black women are obsessed with BBC, and I think that's kind of the foundation of their issue with the exotical space, their issue with, when like who black men date, their issue with how we identify ourselves, how we perceive our own selves. Um, I think it all boils down to BBC, which comment down below, is it that good? I cannot confirm or deny whether or not I've had some myself, but hey, I think that it must be something if they are just like crashing out. I think colorism, whenever I hear a black woman, um, unfortunately, like most of the time, like 95% of the time that I see an unambiguous black woman complaining about colorism, I kind of just replace that with crashing out over BBC. Like, it's something like some man with a BBC didn't date her. Some man, she disliked some girl because she was dating somebody with a BBC or something. Like, I don't understand how male centered you've got to to be moving like that behind it. I feel like they just centered their entire lives around it. And one way that you can see that is that they will curate their entire fitness routine and diet to specifically appeal to the black male gaze. That's why black women are able to be both the most educated and the most obese group in America. Like, they're obviously so smart, like, literally the most educated. So they know scientifically that half the time they're not just thick. They know that being big boned is not a real thing. Like, all of those degrees that they have, and they don't know the difference still between being obese and being thick. Because, like, I don't think that it would be possible if you're that smart, you have that much common sense, you're so educated, so many businesses, so many professional, you know, careers, professional women, educated, smart women, but you don't know how to not be obese. Like, that to me doesn't make sense. That doesn't go hand in hand. So you can't say it's lacking the knowledge. Like, especially because I would say there's so many black women who are working in healthcare. So you know what you have to do to be healthy. You are the most educated group, but you just center BBC. You feel like, oh yeah, the black male gaze wants me to be bigger, wants me to be thicker, and so that's I'll just to the point, and I'll push it to the point where we can become both the most educated and the most obese group. That's insane. I refuse to believe that they don't know how to not be obese. I think that they would just rather stay addicted to things like processed food and high sodium, high fat foods. I think that they allow BBC to run their life so much that they are even like monocultural, just to please the black male gaze. That's how high up they have that on a pedestal. They have them up on a pedestal so high. And I think maybe it's like sometimes they have abandonment issues, so partially it could be that, like, maybe there's like a deep psychological reason as to why you would allow yourself to be the most obese group just for male validation. Males that you claim don't even prefer you. Like, that's insane. That's really sad to me. And I feel like even though they have the knowledge from being the most educated group in America to not be also the most obese group in America, they are just dedicated oftentimes to black male worship and monoculturalism. So they feel like they have to eat you know, their collard greens, fried chicken, cornbread, chitlins, peach cobbler every Sunday because it's like, you know how they will talk about people having colonized minds or a colonized womb or something like that. I feel like whatever the opposite of colonized is, but like replace, like I don't know, I feel like can can black men colonize the minds of black women? I don't know. Is that how is that how colonization works? Because I feel like even their mouths are pro-black. Even their mouths are black male worshiping. Their mouths, their stomachs are black male worshiping. It's like, because first of all, most people in this country are lactose intolerant anyways. So it's like that dedication to like mac and cheese and just all the oils and the butters and stuff like that. Eating all that stuff doesn't even make your body feel good. I feel like they'll even stereotype like healthier foods as being non-black and be like, ugh. Like I literally, I know that I when I think of hot Cheeto girls, I do think of like kind of just like hood or urban girls in general. Like I can see Latinas, I can see some white girls, but I do mainly see like unambiguous black women. Like I think of it like my thing is like if I when I picture like a Latina who eats um hot Cheetos, I picture her making it with like some Mexican corn or something, you know, like with some tacos, like with some guacamole, which is like at least like a fruit and like there's some vegetables somewhere. Like there's some lime in there, some cilantro. Those are like that's a vegetable. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing something like that. But when I see an unambiguous black woman eating hot Cheetos, it's like she also has like 36 millimeter caterpillars on her eyes, and like her nails are like so long she can't properly wipe her her cheeks, like in between her cheeks. When I think back over the people who've always given me like the most grief about like eating healthy, it's been unambiguous black women. Like I feel like, yeah, I've dealt with that from unambiguous black men a bit, but I would say I've dealt with it more from unambiguous black women. Like basically trying to tell me that my diet has to be a political statement. That's insane. Like I have to be obese in order to be pro-black. Like I can't be pro-black 24/7. That's not even a label that I attach to myself, cuz what y'all make that mean is it's really embarrassing, you know, what y'all, the connotation and what y'all have really done with that word and that label and the people who label themselves that. And you know, y'all get a little too uh liberal with throwing around words like being fascist because you want to be skinny and stuff. Like y'all, you know, you kind of push it a little too far for me. I just, in general, I feel like it's childish to not venture out, or even I feel like to hate on exoticals. Like I feel like you'll actually get hate if you if you are not like if you have like a developed palate. Like literally, if you know about food that's not soul food, which like okay, soul food is actually delicious. Like it's actually so good. But I just feel like we don't feel the need to like sacrifice our whole health and fitness and like our cholesterol in order to prove pro-blackness. Like I don't feel like that makes sense. Like I feel like that's taking martyrdom too far. Like I am the pro-blackest person and I eat the blackest foods all the time. Like because it's not like you're eating all that But I think part of the reason that they're the most obese group in America is because they have this like unhealthy obsession to a poor diet, and then they also don't balance it with moving. I said this before. I literally feel like some of them think that like the civil rights leaders would want them to only eat soul food and for their exercise to only be marching for freedom. It's like they'll assign certain workouts like that. Oh, that's white people stuff. Like you like how you're obese, ma'am. I actually don't care how you categorize workouts. I feel like no matter what culture it comes from, it seems to be categorized as something that you're too lazy to do. And I just think that it's sad that they have such a high level of self-hate that um it's like they pedestalize proximity to non-black cultures and non-black people, which to us it's like they're just humans. Like they're just the other humans. They are our own family members. They are like our DNA has proximity. You have, admixture and things like that. But they make it a whole thing. They're very concerned with how you identify yourself. Like if they were so pro-black and they loved being black so much and they felt like they're black mixed with black, you would think that they would be so busy doing things for the black community and loving themselves that they wouldn't have an issue if you wanted to also embrace and claim other parts of your ancestry, other parts of your family and things like that. Like you would think, because I don't care. Like I'm not over there trying to tell them that they're not full black. Why? Because I think that just, I don't pedestalize, I don't have hierarchy thinking in the first place. So I'm not pedestalizing being mixed race. I don't pedestalize being monoracial. I just feel like there's no, I don't know, I'm just a little bit too self-absorbed to take a personal issue with how other people identify themselves. And I think that their obsession with how we identify ourselves goes back to BBC because I feel like a lot of us, this space I would say does largely center blackness because I think to a lot of us, I don't think it would center blackness if we saw ourselves, if we hated blackness, if we wanted to approximate ourselves so far away from blackness, the exotical space wouldn't be blackness centered. And I feel like it largely is. I feel like if anything, it's mixed race centered, but I feel like there's different flavors of mixed race. I would say that I think that it's largely a black mixed race type of space or like in general benefiting from the isms type of space where over here we're talking about how you shouldn't just because somebody else pedestalizes your skin tone, your hair texture, your features doesn't mean that you don't have to feel bad or be apologetic about that, and you also don't have to hate that about yourself. Like, but I think that while we approximate ourselves to blackness, which is obvious, I think that that's not enough for them because no matter how you identify yourself, even for my subscribers that I've seen who are like maybe monoracial but still exotified, I see it as kind of like a why you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in. Like the girls who get it, get it. And if you don't get it, then you're not one of those girls. And that's not me saying like, oh, F you, you're not one of those girls. Ooh, you not like us. But if I were to say that, right? If I were to say that, isn't one of the most popular songs of last year, They Not Like Us, where they're trying to tell us that we not like them? It's, I feel like it very much is like a, which I'm not going to get into the whole PDF file. Like, I do think that part of that whole Kendrick Lamar stuff did have to do with allegations about, misconduct with minors and stuff like that. But I also do think that there was um, some black supremacist undertones to that, which I think that is why I think that's why so many I think that's why they have an issue with this space, because we we may center blackness, but we don't have a black supremacist mindset. Because I do feel like, and I actually have another video I'm really excited to put out soon. I just need to edit it, but I'm talking about how um, a lot of times the black community may want to groom exoticals for being mistreated, and getting like our nervous system um, like groomed and ready to experience like mistreatment and stuff, because they want to basically make you insecure about the parts of you that are ambiguous. Like, I definitely feel like in order to have a black supremacist mindset and to be an exotical, you'd have to hate parts of yourself. Like, you'd have to like hate your mom, and like hate your granny, and like hate your color and like hate your skin tone, and because that doesn't, people, you would hate every time people, are asking you what you are or something like that. Like, you shouldn't. I feel like that's like a more like light skin apologist or black supremacist type of mindset, to be annoyed by your unique combination of features. Like that girl who's like, oh yeah, I wish I had 4C hair. To me, that is kind of like, one, it sounded like she was pandering. Um, but two, I'm like, that's weird to me. It's not weird to me because it's 4C hair and I feel like 4C hair is bad. It's weird to me because it's like, but you don't have 4C. It was a weird thing to say to me, because it's like, I'm a big believer in like, why are you complaining when you could literally change that? Like, you'll even see videos of girls who have like type 1 or 2 hair doing like the teeny tiny like pencil type of curls or something, or oh, I twisted my hair with a bobby pin or something, and like trying to give themselves more like type 3 and 4 um texture hair just to see what it looks like. Like, to me, I don't have an issue with that. I'd much rather you do that. I don't want to see you like, oh yeah, I wish I had Negro hair. Just get some Negro hair. That's weird to me. Like, announcing it is weird. Like, I'd rather you just try a new style. I feel like, because like I feel like a lot of volume in people's hair and stuff like that, I feel like it does look good on different cultures and stuff. Like, I don't take any offense to that. I feel like that is you mutually seeing the beauty in, our hair. Like, I'm like, well, I don't have a problem admitting that I like other textures of hair. And it's like, black women couldn't even try and say that they don't see beauty in other textures of hair, because if that was the case, then why is body wave always sold out? Why? How? Like, okay, they're such hypocrites that it's like, when you have the hair that grows out of your head, you're a ramen noodle headed bitch. But what type of weave is always selling out? Ramen noodle headed, like what? But what? I feel like they center BBC to the point where, how I was making the point about like black men controlling their diets, essentially, they project that onto you, and they're like, I don't know, it just becomes a topic of conversation. It's not just like, oh, what do you have for lunch? Oh, that looks good. Can I try some? It's, what people group can I approximate that to? And it's always on some weird stuff. It's not like, oh, you like Mediterranean food, that's cool. Oh, you like this type of food, that's cool. Like, it's like, like like just a very childish and like undeveloped palate. Like, very much it's giving, I only eat chicken nuggets and Taco Bell. Like, that's ghetto. That's why you're shaped like that, because you're shaped like a person who only eats soul food. You're shaped like a person who feels like vegetables are nasty, or something that you can't eat because you're not from a certain culture. you're shaped like a person who feels like salads belong to white people. I feel like they have a crabs in the bucket mentality where it's like they will try to make you feel bad about your proximity to non-blackness, all while they're like having little seances trying to study how to be more like you. Try to, like, they're trying to have entire courses, and women are spending tens of thousands of dollars to try to learn how to get access to the type of men that we don't have to spend $10,000 to get access to. Like, we don't have to. And I'm not saying I just think that's sad. That's unbelievable to me. I can't imagine. Like, I don't know how I feel about spending $10,000 to get access to a man. Like, that's crazy. Like, that who is he? Is he Superman? Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, you I think I'm just not male centered enough to think of that as a valid thing to spend my money on. Like, I would have spent that money on a trip. I might have gotten like a cosmetic procedure. I would have like invested in something. I'd like be getting my nails done a lot, and going to like try like treatments that I've never done before. I'd have like a lot of spa days. I'm like, girl, what is going on? And oh my God, I was watching this other video, and this girl was like, the girl doesn't even have edges. Like, imagine being so obsessed with BBC that you'll spend $10,000 to get access to BBC, but you won't spend $10,000 to get some edges. Like, they even have edge tattoos. Like, she literally, like, if she had $10,000, she could have gone to like Turkey and like gotten like hairline surgery, or literally just gotten like a growth oil or something like that, or like a, what do they call it, like a micro needler. Like, there's a lot of things she could have done with $10,000 for her edges. But even if she didn't, like, let's say she went to spend $9,000 to get her some BBC and only $1,000 on her edges, don't they have like tattoo edges on Temu? But I feel like that obsession is why so many of them become red pill aligned, and they'll try to use, like, they adopt the mindset of red pill men, and they regurgitate those talking points against exoticals. And instead of like how it's so weird how, like, previously when Kevin Samuels was having all that smoke for unambiguous black woman, it was like them dancing when he died. They literally threw a freaking party when he died. But now so many of them are trying to use his same types of talking points against exoticals, and like grade them on a male centered scale. Like, they call us preferences because of who? Because of black men. They literally are giving us a whole nickname because men with BBC want to give it to us. That's wild. They're saying that they prefer us. They'll even take on like the poor personality traits of men, like toxic men, where they're so BBC crazed that they'll try to triangulate exoticals against non-black women and be like, oh no, you guys aren't the real preferences because you're still black. They are the real preferences, which translation, men with BBC want to give it to them even more than they want to give it to you. Like, okay, like that's not a flex to me, because BBC doesn't run my life. The center of my life is not BBC. I have decentered BBC. they but they haven't. They are BBC obsessed femcells. And I feel like it doesn't make sense, or it, like, upon first glance it wouldn't make sense, because they try to make divesting their whole personality. But when you really analyze that, they're only doing that to try and make black men jealous. It's kind of like how like a narcissistic man will try to like rub the new supply in your face, and it'll be like, oh, he's like got a brand new relationship and like posting it all over the place. Like I've seen some really cringe worthy divesting content where it's like they're literally having their non-black partner be like, I like they're monkey, like dance because they're like trying to flaunt him in the face of of black men. Like that's so weird. That would kill my vibe. Like to me, I'm not even gonna lie, that would turn me off so fast if I knew that a man was like trying to flex me like on like that doesn't do it for me. That doesn't, I don't know, that's not a turn on for me. But I guess that like really gets their juices flowing or fuels their relationship sometimes. Like they bond over making black men mad. Like that's really weird. Like, but I feel like the strangest things could be an aphrodisiac. That really gets them going. That gets them fired up. And it's like I don't really understand it because like they'll say that black men divest at such a higher rate than black women do. So I'm like, why are you trying to make them jealous then? Like, I don't really understand that. Like, if they, like, why do you feel like, why are you so male centered that you're living your life based on how men that you're calling dusty anyways, like on based on how they're living their life? That doesn't make sense. It's like they want them to say, please baby, no, don't go, don't go date the white man. I'll stop sleeping with big booty Latinas. I will stop dating exoticals. It's like I don't understand it. And it's like men are for everybody. Like none of us own any of them. They gonna do like they really put them up on a pedestal because it's like men can be with literally anybody and treat them good or bad. So it doesn't like, why does that, I don't get it. Like they want to see black men crash out over them because they are crashing out over BBC. They're pedestalizing it. That's the center of their life. A lot of them, they can't even just date somebody for love. Like they literally feel like they're settling when they date non-black men because the whole concept of divesting is that no good man in my own culture wanted me, so I have to date out. Like that's literally what they say because their content, it usually is this pipeline from I'm miserable dating the men in my own culture to now my whole personality is dating men in another culture, but they don't even seem to have like, they seem to even drop their standards when they date out. Like I I don't want to get into that in this video because, but it's like maybe it is relevant. Like I feel like they drop their standards just to them. They're just hoping to see the black men crash out so bad that they're like, if I can just get me a white man, if I could just get me a non-black man, they're gonna crash out and they're gonna stop dating. Like I don't know what they're hoping to do. Like I feel like they're hoping to like, I feel like they want it to be like a movie where like once they divest and they make it their whole personality, then they'll the black men will crash out and they'll come crawling back, and then none of them will ever divest ever again. And maybe then they'll be okay with two light-skinned people dating each other and they won't have such an issue with that. My theory is that that's part of where the hard wig, soft life stereotype even came from. Because I have seen some women say in general that sometimes when you move into a predominantly white community with your white man, that there's nobody around who knows about black hair. But I don't really think that that's really the case. Like I feel like if you really want your hair to be a certain type of way, you're going to find somebody to do your hair or figure out how to do it however you want to. I think that to them it comes more so down to preference, like who they feel like perceive or prefers what. Like I've noticed that the unambiguous black female community is obsessed with like the lace wigs that you glue down, and they seem to typically want exotical hair and non black looking hair. Like they seem to like um bust down Indian, something Burmese, something I can't Cambodian, something like that. Like they always seem to, that's their preferred type of like they will literally spend like they'll get like a $500 wig before they take care of their bald-headed children. Like they'll get a wig before they pay their rent. Like that, like it's really insane. I don't understand. Like their priority is like they kind of seem to, I don't know, they just don't really want to wear their own hair styled. Even to the point where I saw this one girl, an unambiguous girl, make a video talking about, oh, she went to go get, like, she had short hair and she went to go get it braided by the Africans. And she was like, oh, she didn't want any hair added in. And she was like her hairstylist was like, oh, really? You don't want any extensions? And it's like, that just goes to show that's how that's your collective image. The collective image is that you guys don't want your own dang hair on your head, because that's always those are like the most popular um types of textures and stuff that are always selling out. Like it's not like, oh, my hair is short and so like the most popular thing for them is, I want undetectable, I want it to look like my own hair that grows out of my head, I want kinky coarse hair that's just longer, like just down my back. Like it's not even that. Like they don't care if it's long or if it's short. They just don't want it to look like theirs. They would rather look like a black and mild. They would much rather do that. I feel like they prefer hair types 2 all the way up to like 4B, and they seem to prefer type 4 hair that is more weighed down into like a wash and go, or like a wet and wavy. So I don't even feel like it's necessarily just the texture. I feel like sometimes it's the style. It's certain styles, like the weighed down is what they seem to prefer on themselves. I don't know if that's just what they like, but they seem to feel as though black men prefer that. And so it seems that the soft wig to them would be the hairstyles that they perceive as being attractive to black men, which is exotical hair. It's not, it's not kinky 4C shrunken afro hair that they might have woken up with, or they may look like when they take, or that's what they look like when they take their wig off. That's what the black man himself has growing out of his head. Whatever they have going on between each other, they have an understanding that, or they seem to perceive that. Because I noticed that if you are, no matter what your phenotype is, I've noticed that if you are using less popular hair extensions, or it looks more natural, it's not a bust down or just a wet and wavy type of kinky curly type of situation, like I'll try to put images on the screen of like the most, y'all know what the very popular black community type of extensions are. I feel like if you don't wear those, you're perceived as preferring white men. And I don't think it's just because of oh, the girls don't have anyone to do their hair when they actually date white men, and that's where it comes from. Like, I feel like it's more so them trying to clock who they feel like you're attracted to as an exotical, and they want to figure out like, oh, am I competing with her for BBC? They want to see, are you wearing more of like a black community type of like hairstyle, or they want to clock that, oh, okay, she likes white boys or whatever. Or I think sometimes it's like the competition aspect, and then other times it's them just centering black men in BBC so much that they're like, girl, why is your hair like that? If you want some BBC, you need to see what I'm doing. This what you got to do, girl. I feel like many of them also feel like white men prefer their natural hair as opposed to black men preferring it. And they'll even make videos doing experiments trying to test. And it's like they're trying to prove and call attention to the fact that the hair that grows out of their head doesn't attract the men that they want. Because I feel like black men are most of their first choice, and many of them are just really male centered, which is where a lot of their behavior and their obsession with us in this space comes from. They'll project that onto us. So when they come over here and try to infiltrate our space, they will literally try to turn us into celebrities because they find our content so triggering. Like many of us don't even date or prefer unambiguous black men, but those men will crash out over us. They'll even come online and announce that we can max out their credit cards and put them into debt. There was literally this man who just went viral because he was talking about how he likes exoticals and he will make poor financial decisions, and act like he has money that he doesn't even have, behind an exotical. So he can't even, we're too dangerous for him. He can't even date us. He said that he literally he can't even date us because he will literally lose all sense of logic and he will end up literally homeless over light skin curly hair. That's what he said. And I feel like okay, that's, I feel like I don't have an issue with that. I feel like if an exotical ever is in a bind financially, or if she wants to come up, girl, do what you got to do. If you know there are men crashing out like that over you, pedestalizing and fetishizing us like that, girl, do what you got to do. Get your bag. Like, I'm not gonna have any beef with you for that. But a lot of them, they will, like, it's videos like him making that where it's like, I'm not mad that he made the video, but it's like there are so many exoticals that are going to get so much more hate than they already were getting because of him putting out that video, because he's just saying the quiet part out loud. Like, they've been studying that for years. They've been knowing that. Like, even Cynthia G, when she used to be on YouTube, I feel like I saw her make content. She seemed to kind of zero in and study, like, the what she would feel like would be like the poor financial decisions of black men. Like, oh, every time a man in the NFL marries an exotical or a non-black woman, it's like a huge deal. And like, there are so many women who literally are only known and famous in the black community because they married BBC. They had kids with BBC. Like, you can literally, like, it's a money grab. Like, all of a sudden they're like, all you got, because they are so obsessed with who the men are sleeping with and dating. So literally, if you wanted to capitalize off the black community, like, just publicly date, or like just be seen out with a guy from the NFL and be an exotical. Literally, they're going to be going crazy. Who is she? They're going to be posting pictures of your skin tone and you in different lights, and they're going to be looking for your whole life story, trying to figure out, because they're like, oh, he's giving his BBC to her. Who is that? Who is that high yellow bitch? And I will say that it's not something that's predatory, in my opinion, when an exotical is open to dating the men who crash out over her, or she's open to profiting over their like, off of their sexual weakness and their lack of discipline. I don't feel like that's predatory, because I feel like the men are predatory. A lot of times they they want to impregnate you and they don't even know you like that. They just want a baby who looks like you. They just want to get with you and have pretty babies. That's all they want to do. They, like, so many, like, a lot of us, you may have had, like, exoticals. A lot of us have to be very careful with our womb, because it's like there's a lot of men who literally are just like trying to have a baby with you, because no matter how much no matter how much unambiguous black women crash out over how we identify ourselves, there it, there are, you could be delusional. You could call yourself an unambiguous dark skinned black woman when you're clearly not. But the men aren't going to treat you the way that they treat them. They're still going to fetishize and pedestalize you, and they're trying to get you pregnant. They're trying to have a baby with you. They're trying to have a baby with your eyes, trying to have a baby with your hair, your cute little nose or whatever it is, your skin tone. Yes. 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 So, and it's like that to me, that is more predatory. That is, the behavior on the men's part. But I think that the women wish that they were dealing with that. Like, I think that a lot of times these celebrity women who end up pregnant, I think a lot of them are likely victims of like reproductive abuse, because there are men who, like, you have never heard of, and then they just want to have a baby with a certain girl so that um they can become attached to her name and have a child with her. And I think it is victim blaming to I would say not only is it victim blaming to blame the woman in that situation and to try to make yourself into some Kevin Samuels God and be like, oh, well, you should have chose better. Okay, you're the most red pill, unambiguous black woman and stuff like that. Like, good job. You became like the people that are the oppressors. Like, okay, good job. Like, I don't know what you want for that. But I feel like I think that if you hear me say that, my theory is that a lot of the exoticals, because of how highly they're fetishized, that I I believe that they wouldn't. Who wants to tell the whole world in the internet that already has an issue with you, that, oh, you got assaulted or something? Like, I don't think that these women would ever come out and say that. I think they would just try to get some child support, try to do whatever they got to do to take care of their kid. Or I guess some of them would get rid of the kid and stuff. But some of them, like, don't believe in that. So they would just keep the baby and be torn apart because they literally had their baby that some guy tried to trap them with. And then people will tear them apart for not staying with the man. But I think that if it sounds so weird to me, or if you feel like that's me, um, like, being too empathetic with other women, I'm gonna guess that you're probably ugly, because I think that pretty women just know that there are men who want, like, literally, that is why men are so obsessed with, oh, take her swimming on the first date and everything. Like, literally, if you're pretty, somebody's trying to get you pregnant. Like, somebody wants to, and they may go to different lengths to do that. Like, manipulation, literal love bombing, actual aggression and stuff like that. And I feel like if you don't empathize with women who have gone through that, you've likely just not gone through it, because maybe you're just ugly. Um, that is a lot. That's one of the dark sides of pretty privilege, is men's their desire for entitlement to you. They want to conquer you and control you, and it's like, dang, like, if a lot of us, I feel like, if I feel like, to be honest, I don't feel like it's a flex if you're not one of the women that they feel like are preferred in society, if nobody's calling you a preference, or you're like, I feel like if you're a beluga whale, like when I saw that 21 with no kids challenge, I'm like, you're a beluga whale, you better be 21 with no kids. You proclaim all across the internet that nobody prefers you. So if you're still having a baby young, being a teen mom, being hot and ready and stuff, it's like, what's going on then? That doesn't even make sense. And while I would say that I think in general, many people are having kids young is situations that shouldn't be happening no matter what their skin tone is, I'm not going to cape for women who don't cape for us. They don't care. Literally, there are women, I've found out that there are people in my comments that apparently I'm famous, and I'm not even monetized, and apparently there's a whole niche popping up on YouTube of people who want to actually just tear down the exotical space, which means that pretty girls are not like celebrities. We actually are, because that's what, like, the shade room is. That's what all these tea spilling pages are. Like, all you have to do is look like Beyonce, and people are going to make you into a celebrity and start adding you in their videos and stuff like that. Not monetized. I just make these videos because, it's fun to talk shit. But apparently Apparently that's what's going on. That is how far the BBC centeredness can take your life. I feel like they I think that's why they're so obsessed with like calling us preferences, and then they want to try to assert that non-black men, specifically I've heard them say this about white men, they feel like white men prefer unambiguous dark-skinned black women with 4C hair over us, which to me, I'm not male-centered. So, okay, what do you want me to do? I don't know. I just don't. I feel like my options are abundant enough that I don't need to look at the whole, macro, big picture statistics of who's more preferred and everything. Like, I don't even know if that's even a statistic or if that's just like, I don't know. I don't know if that's just like anecdotal that they're making that up. But even if it was true, I think that that is more so something like, for them, they need to be able to trauma bond with exoticals, and so that's why they throw fiestas when we get mistreated by men who have BBC, because they want to see us punished for accepting the BBC that's like thrown at us all the time. Like if you're an exotical, most of the time you're having to beat BBC off with a stick. So it's like if one man with the BBC got you pregnant, you done rejected 50. If one man actually married you with BBC, dang, you got proposed to by like 20. So it's like, dang, like I'm doing my best, but it's like they just want you to have no hoes, no aura, no riz, no men, no rotation, no niggas. You can't have nothing. No sneaky link, no friends with benefits. If he's got BBC, and you can't date other MLS people, because then they'll say that you guys look weird. They'll say that your kids look like they're in the Volturi. They'll say that y'all look like brother and sister. So we can't take BBC. We can't take light skin BBC. We just can't have any. I feel like the reason that the preference to baby mama pipeline is such a popular video topic for unambiguous black women to talk about is because it's the only way that they can approximate themselves to exoticals. Because whenever we're not looking, they admit that certain celebrities that in another place on the internet, they're trying to call like Beyonce an unambiguous dark skinned black woman, but then like in another place on the internet, they're like, okay, the exoticals aren't looking, yeah, she's light skinned. And it's like they don't approximate themselves to you that much, but they want to be able to, because they desire to be able to trauma bond with you. So that's why, all you have to do is engage in something dusty as a light-skinned woman, or an exotical, a non-black woman. All you have to do is have a baby with, you know, the men that they proclaim to be dusty, but that have BBCs that they claim they're divested from, and they don't care who they date. Date them. They say they don't care if you date them. They say they don't care who they date. Okay, date them and see what happens. See how many hate pages pop up against about you. Watch yourself end up on the shade room. Watch yourself become a celebrity in the black community overnight over BBC. I feel like I've said BBC like 25 times in this video, but literally, like I'm getting into like the mindset of the BBC crazed unambiguous black woman, and her mind sounds like this video. It's just BBC, BBC, BBC. Oh my God, who's getting the BBC today? Is it Exoticals United? Is it Pretty in Between? They care about your mama. They want to know. They need to be able to categorize you to figure out if you're an exotical or if you're a biracial person who has a non-black mom who was taking BBC, or if you've got a white dad, which they like that. They like the white dad, non-black dad, black woman, biracials. That won't save you, but they find that to be more aspirational. But when they have their exotical daughter, they will tell their family members not to compliment her, unfortunately. But I feel like they also, in order to be able to approximate themselves to like celebrity exotical women, they will project their own dusty co-parenting chaos onto those women. And they just will assume it's like they'll say the same things that like a man, like a red-pilled man would say to um a woman that he's in a relationship with, where he's like committing domestic violence against her. We'll be like, yeah, you ain't never gonna make it out there on your own. You gonna be used up. You ain't gonna be nothing without me. Ain't nobody gonna want you. Like, that's literally, they take on that same mentality from their obsession with the black men. They become the black man. They want to see non-black and exotical women experience trauma and have dust added to their life, which is why franchises like Baddies and Love and Hip Hop are so successful. They're like total money grabs because they have a primarily unambiguous black female audience, and the appeal to those shows is they wouldn't watch it if it was all a whole bunch of them. They don't want to see that. They want to see a whole bunch of women, because even the unambiguous women on there, they're playing with their ambiguity and having fluid beauty standards. And then a lot of the cast is non-black women and then exoticals who are fighting each other. They're getting their wigs ripped off. They're getting their nails broken. They're knocking each other's they're giving each other black eyes and knocking each other's teeth out. Like Chris Shawn, she would never have been like as famous as she is in the black community if she wasn't on Baddies and getting uh domestically violated by Blueface, like, and cheated on and all that dustiness. Like, because she wouldn't be relatable if she wasn't the way she is. And I've already seen, as she's been trying to change her life, she is losing favor in the black community, because it's like, girl, if you get, Krishan is talented, she's beautiful, she's such a beautiful girl. I think she obviously just had childhood trauma and found a man who wanted to exploit that. Like, obvious, like, it's a very sad thing. I seen that she seemed to be on a very good track before she ended up with him. But the reason I can empathize with Krishan is because, okay, we have similar phenotype. I see her as being an exotical too, and I know that pretty, like, childhood trauma doesn't skip over you because you're pretty. You actually become a target for your jealous family members, or your unambiguous family members, or unambiguous kids at school, or in your neighborhood, and men trying to trap you with babies and trying to just date you, to triangulate you against another woman, and this, that, and the third. Like, I understand that type of stuff, which is why I'm excited to see her, trying to change her life and everything. That's a good thing. I see that as a win, but that's not what an ambiguous black woman want to see from her. She'll be losing them as an audience the better she does, in my opinion. And I think that they also want to live vicariously through the unambiguous black female cast members who are fighting exoticals and non-black women, and punching them and cursing them out and stuff. They really want to, it's almost like virtual reality. They see themselves beating up that high yellow girl. Like, they really are, like, violent, and they a lot of times they do it in real life as well. But when they're educated, they may have jobs that they're trying not to lose. What they'll do is you'll see a very professional, unambiguous black woman who still, in her free time, likes to watch the more ghetto ratchet shows like that, because maybe she can't lose her job, she can't go to jail because she has her degree and everything. But it's like her guilty pleasure to watch light-skinned women get beat up, or to watch them fight, to watch them be in a more ghetto type of environment. But It is sad, and it really is all about their male centeredness and them wanting to punish us for our access and our interactions with the men that they center. Which, even though we don't center those men, that's not going to stop them from centering us. They're literally obsessed. They just seem to, like, they have a deep need to control black men, and they forget that, like, if you were to switch the gender, that wouldn't be okay. Like, people are not your possessions. Like, I don't feel like black men are allowed to treat black women like they're possessions, and I don't feel like black women are allowed to do that to them either. And I feel like black men, they're allowed to date and sleep with and marry and have babies with whoever they want. But the BBC obsessed beluga whales hate you because of that simple fact. So what do you think, worldies? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, eyes on the prize.